In the aftermath of the global catastrophe, the world was a vastly different place. The few humans that survived had been irrevocably changed. They had developed a new ability, telepathy. At first, it was a source of confusion and fear. People could hear each other's thoughts, and secrets were impossible to keep. Society had to restructure itself entirely. The first few years were difficult. It was hard to adjust to a world where privacy was a luxury that no one could afford. The survivors had to learn to filter out the noise and focus on their own thoughts. But as time passed, they began to see the benefits of their newfound ability. Governments collapsed, and new ones were formed based on trust and transparency. No one could lie anymore, and politicians who were caught deceiving their constituents were quickly ousted. People's relationships also changed. It was impossible to hide anything from your partner, and marriages became more honest and open. But not everyone was happy with the new world order. Some people resented the loss of their privacy and saw the telepathic abilities as a curse. They formed a group called the Silent Ones and vowed to never use their abilities, even though they had them. The Silent Ones lived in seclusion, away from the rest of society. They saw themselves as the last bastion of privacy in a world that had lost it. But they were also lonely. They had cut themselves off from the rest of humanity and had to rely on written communication to communicate with each other. One day, a young woman named Ava stumbled upon the Silent One's hidden enclave. She had been out exploring and had wandered too far from the city. She was surprised to find a group of people living in isolation, and even more surprised when they revealed their ability to communicate telepathically. At first, the Silent Ones were distrustful of Ava, but she slowly won them over with her openness and honesty. They began to see that perhaps their way of life wasn't the only way. With Ava's help, they started to integrate back into society. The world was changing again, but this time it was for the better. The telepathic abilities that had once caused so much confusion and fear were now bringing people together. Society had restructured itself, but it was still evolving, and maybe, just maybe, it was for the better.